Hey, almost hit somebody, or somebody almost hit me. Hey, everybody. It's a Monday morning, bright and early, and I'm down in work, down working, and I'm heading to another store, and I just got a really busy Monday morning. I don't really have time to shoot a proper video, so I thought I'd just have you ride along with me, because there's a couple of things I want to talk about, and I need your help, so stay tuned. I'll get to that in just a minute. But I want to, there's so many things going on. Like I said, Donald Trump, I can't keep up with this guy. Rubio just came back, I guess, from Panama, and I don't know exactly what happened other than what I've heard, which is that apparently they have signed we have signed a MOU, a memo of understanding with them. What are the details? I don't know, although I've heard that they're taking down signs that have been erected that are written in Chinese. So I don't know. Trump says he wants to take it back. I don't know if it's going to go that far, or if that's just a negotiating tactic to get concessions from Panama. We'll see. I just don't know. Now, I want to talk about a guy who hadn't been in the news, as far as I'm concerned, for quite some time, and that is David Hogg. How many of you remember David Hogg? David Hogg came to prominence a few years back after there was a school shooting in South Florida. And he was a student at this school. He wasn't actually in the school when this happened, but there was an unfortunate school shooting. And from that moment forward, David Hogg, H-O-G-G, whose father was an FBI agent, was just on a mission, an anti-gun mission, totally against firearms. And you know, if you've kept track with him over the years, he's just rabid about it. He's illogical. He doesn't make any sense. If you've seen any of the interviews he's given or any of the things he's written, you understand he's kind of a lightweight. He doesn't have a whole lot going on up top. And I wouldn't mention him, save for the fact that David Hogg, who I think is in his mid-20s now, David Hogg has been elevated or hired by the Democratic National Committee to be their vice chair. And when I first heard this, I thought this was a joke. I said, that can't be right. There's no way they're going to put this guy as the vice chair of the D-freaking-N-C. So I said to Marina last night, I said, somebody posted this on Twitter, X, and of course there's so much nonsense on there. It's like, you know, walking through mud, right? Or what else, you know. I said, somebody tweeted that David Hogg is the new vice chair of the Democratic National Party. She said, no, it's true. And it is true. I went and did some further digging, and it's unbelievable to me. The Democratic Party, their vice chairman is this addle-brained half-wit named David Hogg, who I guess should fit in nicely, right? And I told Marina last night, I said, do these people just not want to win anymore? Folks, I'm optimistic about the future of electoral politics in the United States, and it is because the Democrats keep using the same old losing playbook. They keep elevating these lunatics to positions of authority, and look where it's getting them. The American people, in wholesale fashion, completely rejected their woke ideology in the last election. They don't want this stuff anymore. We're fed up with it. We don't want the Harrises, the Bidens, the Walzes, the gals on The View, the AOCs, the Karen Basses, the Gavin Newsoms. the Pete Buttigieg's. These are all political losers. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and on it goes. I mean, the Democratic Party has got to get hold of some new blood somewhere. They have got to do something. Somebody just broke down. They have got to do something, because they're playing a losing hand, and they're not wising up. It's the same old tired faces. It's the Schumers, it's the Pelosi's. These are still their spokespeople, and they are not connecting with the American people by and large. Only a few. The rank and file in flyover country, the regular hardworking Americans who, pay their taxes, go to work, play by the rules, raise their families, they don't connect with these people. There's nothing in common. Donald Trump made some inroads in California, and I've alluded to this before. When you couple what happened in the election in California, he didn't win, but he made some inroads. And now you look at what happened with all these wildfires, and it just glaringly showed the utter incompetence of the Democratic leadership in California. It's all Democrat. In the state house, the governor, the mayor, Karen Bass, Gavin Newsom, they're all Democrats, folks. And these wildfires are hitting people where they live, literally. And we've seen evidence of people who are historically Democrats. They're finally starting to wake up and saying, this just ain't working. When you lose your house, when you lose the things that are the most dear to you, it might be time to do a little reassessing of how this happened. So the Democratic Party they are in need of new leadership. Horribly. But I'm fine just standing to the side and letting the Hindenburg burn. If this is what you're going to do, if this is the leadership you're going to select, then have at it. You've kind of got, as I see it now, kind of three political factions in America. You've got the Democratic Party, you've got the Republican Party, and then you've got MAGA. And what you see in these confirmation hearings that ought to be over by now, easily, should have been done before Trump took office, but whatever the case, what you're seeing is all Democrats say no, predictably. And then you're having to bite your nails because you assume the Republicans are going to vote for Trump's nominee. But you've always got these people like Mitch McConnell and Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins and some of these rhinos, these neocons, that you can't count on to confirm. This is supposed to be advise and consent, folks. That's the Constitution. You advise and you consent. It is sort of a given that the president takes office with, to some degree, of a mandate from the American people, and he should have the privilege of having the people he wants in his cabinet. You understand that when a Democrat wins. Why can't we get that figured out when a Republican wins? It's because Donald Trump is not the traditional Republican, because he is from outside the DC culture. If it were all MAGA, it'd be no problem. Make America great again. Now, what's the difference in a Republican and MAGA? Well, as we have seen in recent years, the rank and file Republican in Washington is pro-war. They're always pro-Israel, no matter what. They obviously don't cut any spending. They're pro-big government. They'll tell you otherwise, but it's not true. That's why you just don't see a whole lot of difference between Republicans and Democrats. But there's quite a few MAGA candidates up there on Capitol Hill now, and that's a good thing. Hopefully, as time goes on, we can get a few more. Pardon me while I get a sip of coffee. Okay, now I've got a little homework for you, and I want you to help me out. I just want to kind of speak off the cuff. Last night, I was sitting around trying to think of everything Donald Trump has done, has accomplished in, what is it now, 11 days, 12 days as president. Today is Monday. When was he inaugurated? Was it 2 weeks ago? A couple of weeks. What all has Donald Trump accomplished? Now, I'm sure I'm going to miss some things, and I want you to comment down below and tell me what else you believe Trump has accomplished his first 2 weeks in office. Isn't it amazing? He's been moving at breakneck speed. I mean, he's accomplished more in 2 weeks than Biden did in 4 years. Not that he accomplished anything, because he didn't accomplish anything. He just did the opposite. He was just a train wreck. For example, he killed the Keystone Pipeline on day one, and then the debacle in Afghanistan. I mean, it was just one disaster after another. But here's what I came up with last night. I was just writing down some notes. I didn't research it. I didn't look anything up. I just, from the top of my head, I just wrote down what has Donald Trump, and Marina threw in a few things too. What has Donald Trump accomplished his first 2 weeks in office? In no particular order. Number one, he freed the J6 prisoners. That was day one. He freed the J6 prisoner. I think he freed every one of them. He also pardoned, if you will, he pardoned them and let them go. He also pardoned several people that had been protesting at abortion clinics, as is their right. One grandmother was arrested because she was standing outside an abortion clinic praying. Well, you got to go to jail. You can't have that. How about this? He cut off funding to NGOs, non-governmental organizations, who were facilitating illegal immigration. That includes Catholic Charities, by the way, who should be cut off. Catholic Charities is not what you might think it is. He put the top 2 USAID leaders on leave. USAID is scandalous. It ought to be shut down. How about this? 50 people that we know of lost their security clearances. That includes John Bolton, Mike Pompeo, and there's somebody else, some high profile. Oh, John Brennan, the literal communist, James Clapper. They're gone. They don't have their security clearances. No Secret Service protection. They're done. He put tariffs out. Now, he's not done with the tariffs. I got mixed emotions on tariffs. I'm just going to be honest with you, but we got to do something about trade imbalances. There's no question about that. How about this? He froze federal hiring. Bravo, Mr. President. He froze federal hiring. He to date has fired literally hundreds of FBI agents. Good move, sir. Keep going. Keep going. It's funny. This committee is asking Kash Patel, the FBI director designate, if he gets confirmed, are you going to, basically they're saying, are you going to take a wrecking ball to the FBI? And he's very coy in his answer. Well, he doesn't have to take a wrecking ball to him. Trump's doing it for him. That's good. Keep on firing them. Just go on a firing frenzy with the FBI and other bureaucrats. He fired Jack Smith and his team of prosecutors, as he should have. We need retribution, folks, against these people. He has offered buyouts to bureaucrats. I believe it's 2 million bureaucrats We talked about that the other day. He's offered to give them a buyout package. I'll give you, I think it was 8 months' salary, and you're gone. But you've got to agree to it within the next 8 days. I hope they all agree to it. He declared Mexican drug cartels. He has classified them as terrorists, meaning we can go after them militarily. Now, if you've watched me for a while, you understand I am not a neocon. I do not believe we need to be sending our military all over the world starting wars. You know how I feel about that. I'm dead set against it. There is, however, in my estimation, a proper use of the military, and that is to defend our coasts, borders, and airspace. That is the proper use of the military. And by declaring Mexican drug cartels as terrorist organizations, we can go after them militarily, and I believe that's legitimate. I absolutely believe that's legitimate. If they are infiltrating our country with drugs such as fentanyl, then they're fair game. And I mean, even if we have to go into Mexico to get them, folks, I'm serious about this. It is time to stop this nonsense. These are people who are invading our nation and with their deadly products killing Americans. They're fair game, if you ask me. So Trump is taking the right steps. He has sent military troops to the border. He's also brought home a lot of military troops from overseas. Let's hope that continues. He has closed all governmental DEI offices. Thank you, sir. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. We are scrubbing it from the government, and good thing. Good riddance to DEI. And he has ended DEI policies, as he should. Along with Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, he's basically saying there's no more DEI, certainly not in our military. Folks, the military is not intended to be a place for social experimentation. It simply isn't. The military exists for the defense of our country. It's not a place for DEI hires. Neither is anywhere in the government. Neither is anywhere as far as I'm concerned. We need to get back to merit-based employment and merit-based government, merit-based jobs. You shouldn't be hired based on your skin color or your sex or whatever. You should be hired based on merit. I don't expect to go out here and get a job today flying airplanes. I don't know how to fly an airplane, and I can't go to the airline. By the way, who's flying now? Not me. But I couldn't go to the airline and get a job as a pilot. I'm not a pilot. I couldn't say, well, you've got to hire me. I'm a white man. You can't discriminate against me or whatever. Baloney. You can't get a job, or you shouldn't be able to get a job. And this is what Trump was talking about the other day with regard to the D.C. crash of the helicopter and the American Airlines jet. He blamed it on DEI. Now, Trump is not always really good at articulating what he's talking about, but he was right about this because there are people who have been trying to get on as air traffic controllers, but because they didn't have the right skin color, they couldn't get the job. And so Trump is basically saying, at a job as critical as an air traffic controller, that is a job that obviously has to be based on merit, talent, not skin color, for heaven's sakes. You're bringing planes in and sending planes out. We need competence in that position. I don't want a DEI physician. I want the best physician, the brightest. I want the brightest people flying any jet I might get on. I want the brightest people in the air traffic controller tower. So Trump is getting rid of this stuff, and good for him. All right, so let me know down below what else has Trump done that you can think of. I'd appreciate that. Listen, I got to get back to work. Thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you would, please. I would greatly appreciate that. And I will talk to you guys soon.